Welcome back to the Fifth Guild Podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm co-host Scott.
And today we're going over chapters 6 through 10 of Devour Arcanists. And before we get into today's chapters, I always like to remind everybody to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff for us so that we know we're doing a good job. And so that way we can reach out to more people. Also want to remind everybody the Frith Chronicles Wiki link is in the description down below, along with the link to the Capital Station Discord server. That you can go over there and join in on the conversations there. And with that, we'll get into today's episode. Starting with chapter 6, the Elder Toad. I love that Starling has to be carried by Ecrib since Starling doesn't want to be carried by Nini. So that's his next best option is Ecrib. And I like, obviously Starling doesn't want to be carried, period. But
I kind of thought it would have been funny if Nini carried him, just kind of
like picked up the lanterns and just kind of like plopped them up on the next one and octopused its way back up. But I really do wonder if there's some special type of magic that the Reapers get in the Abyssal Hells, because Starling does make a quick comment about how he does not like to be touched by Nini right now or Waste. And it just makes me wonder, like, if because they're in the Abyssal Hells, do they get some kind of like extra bonus or boon? Sadly, we are reminded again that the tier 2 in the house is making life extremely difficult.
Should have gotten a stronger one.
I mean, come on, like, So Ashlynn and Gray have the "what if we die with regrets" talk, and I'm not blaming Ashlynn for bringing it up because, you know, like, it's a pretty solid opportunity here. And all I want to do is like, Gray, shut up. Like, she isn't doubting your ability to save them. She just wants to make sure she has a chance to say what she wants to say.
She's also literally dying right now. You are alive, she's dying.
Like she doesn't have a piece of somebody else's soul in her to be able to prevent her from dying. So just let her be. Let her have her moment. As we are venturing up and platforming, we do end up meeting an Ogata Toad, and it has super long and sharp looking fangs. And that's not normal.
No touchy.
No touchy. And we find out that this is an elder creature, and basically they're trying to convince the other mystical creatures to abandon their arcanists and become elder creatures themselves, and then eat their arcanists to eat their souls.
Which brings us to chapter 7, Resentment. Ecrib is pissed. He does not like this idea. He is quite happy with Ashlynn. And he ends up getting in a fight with the Toad. The Toad hits him with Venom. There's then this giant kerfuffle going on. This Toad is crazy fast. It's jumping all around. It jumps at Ashlynn. Gray's able to save her. Pretty much everybody but Knovak and Starling join the fight. They're just kind of chilling back like, you guys got this, right? Like, you don't need any help. Deimos does end up jumping in and saving them. He says that he really did it to kill the elder creature. They're kind of the plague of the underworld. Like, we don't have a plague in this series the way we did it with the original Frith Chronicles, but this is the equivalent of a plague. And then there's the sad moment of Starling kind of agreeing with the Toad. Not like that he wants to eat Knovak, but just kind of like, maybe I should eat some souls.
Get stronger, so I'm not this weak tier 2 creature. I also want to say that the Ogata Toad reminded me of the frog in Majora's Mask, when you had to face him in the temple.
That's a good one.
It kind of reminded me of that.
I pictured him like the Greninja or whatever from Pokemon.
With his tongue as a scarf.
Yes.
We move on to chapter 8, Conviction. And Gray touches somebody's soul as it floats up the Wraithborn Orchard. And when I thought about this, it sounded way more creepy than I imagined. Finally, we're kind of getting to the nitty-gritties of the birds and the bees of what's going on down in the Abyssal Hells, and they're like, well, why don't you just repopulate the Abyssal Hells? And they're like, well, it doesn't work like that. It cannot happen. And there's that, like, okay, we don't really need much more information from that. And Deimos is like, yeah, so we definitely tried. Like, every combination possible, and yeah, it just doesn't work. Starling is really butthurt because everyone is picking on Knovak, and I will admit, he is mostly the reason why a lot of this is going on. Like, at current, not necessarily like why he got sucked into Hells or any of that, but I also want to say Starling has a lot to do with this too. Like, if you had bonded with Gray back in the day, you wouldn't be bonded to somebody weak like Knovak.
He wouldn't. He doesn't do much to change his situation, though. I know there's only so much you can do, but Knovak doesn't help himself. He blames his surroundings a lot of this. Oh, it's a tier 2 creature, and not like, oh, these are also the ones that protect, like, the queen.
Like, I mean, look at Rizzles. They're tier 2, but they're still bad freaking ass. Just saying. Just because you have a tier doesn't mean you're not worth something. We also see that Knovak does not have a backbone, and he is super self-conscious of himself as well, and he's constantly prey to everybody. We saw it at the track, we saw it now, just throughout the entire series so far. Knovak is a doormat. As much as he wants to like be all pompous and I'm Mr. Noble because my against family, he doesn't give off that aura of being confident, and everybody will eat you up every single time about it. Papa D does give us a really badass quote that a hero needs to win every time, a villain only needs to win once. And this is between Gray and Deimos as far as like opening the gates to the Abyssal Hells and fighting off the other Death Lords and all of that. So I bet if Luther was right there, he would have probably gotten like super excited too and involved.
Yeah, that's a pillar quote. Chapter 9 is the Fury of Xuandi. So we are at this point getting attacked by Xuandi and Xundi's dragon. So at this time, Knovak does volunteer to fight, and Deimos is like, yeah, no, out of your league. Please no. The dragon ends up destroying the root, trying to pull it open. He doesn't really like the humans. Luckily, Twain is able to transform into the dragon, hits it with some raw magic evocation. Everyone else is adding their evocation as well. We've got some lightning evocation going in. Waste and them are trying to help out as well. Eventually, Xuandi does leave with Twain. He ends up grabbing him and going to carry him away from the root. Fortunately, Gray, who decides that, I'm going to go be brave and try and save my eldrin, even though I can't fly, is luckily saved by Hector, who grabs him in the nick of time.
And with that, we go into chapter 10, the Bug Bloat Bog. I'd love to hear somebody try to say that 5 times fast. Gray is going to continue to help, and he makes his way back down the orchard. He does run into more of the Ogata Toads, and Gray doesn't want to play around anymore, so he just uses flamethrower and cooks all of them instantly because he uses the Phoenix Dragon magic. So Gray also realized that once he used that fire, he actually rejuvenated his own strength with the Phoenix Dragon's abilities. So not only did he take those toads out, he actually like recovered a bit from it. And he straight up murked the other toads with a light of beam, and then we keep continuing to go after Knovak and Starling because they fled, and now we have to find them somewhere else in the area of the first Abyssal Hells. And all the whole while, people are trying to reincarnate into bugs and go up the tree, but they can't because there's a giant hole.
This place is wild.
You can't even keep it straight, but like there's so much craziness going on at one time.
I know, and each region is like its own separate thing of crazy.
And with the bugs, that's where we're going to the Bug Bloat Bog, as it is named so dubiously by Twain. And with that ends this week's episode. Next week we'll be going over chapters 11 through 15 of Death Lord Arcanists. And Scott, did you have anything else you'd like to add this week?
No, we're getting into the perks of the hells now.
All right, with that, we'll catch you guys next week.